The biting Pennsylvania air, thick with the scent of pine and the distant rumble of unseen cars, held a secret in 1970. A secret that bloomed from a dark seed, a single gunshot that would unravel the lives of those connected to it. This is the story of John Leonard, a man who vanished in the cold embrace of a Barrett Township night, and the chilling echo of his death that haunted his estranged wife, Madeleine. Their intertwined fates, steeped in mystery and unanswered questions, are a testament to the enduring power of secrets and the relentless pursuit of truth. John Leonard was a man of simple routines, a fixture in the small Pennsylvania community of Barrett Township. At 52, he was a taxi driver, a familiar face navigating the winding roads that snaked through the Pocono Mountains. His taxi, a reliable if unremarkable sedan, was his office, his sanctuary, and his constant companion as he traversed the picturesque yet often isolated terrain. He knew the shortcuts, the hidden diners where the coffee was strong and the pies were homemade, and the rhythms of life in the area like the back of his hand. He was known for his quiet demeanor, his professionalism, and his uncanny ability to find his way through any weather or darkness the Poconos could throw at him. His life, however, was not without its complexities. He was separated from his wife, Madeleine, a woman with a fiery spirit and a mind that refused to be idle. Their shared history was a tapestry woven with threads of love and laughter, but also, it seemed, with growing distance and unspoken grievances. While their marriage had fractured, the threads of their lives, though frayed, were still connected. They shared a history, a past, a bond that, despite its strain, would ultimately become tragically entangled. The night of John's murder was like any other for a taxi driver in the late 1970s. The late hours, the occasional drunken passenger whose slurred words were a familiar soundtrack, the quiet hum of the engine, these were the familiar companions of his lonely job. Barrett Township, nestled within the embrace of the Poconos, offered a serene landscape by day, but by night, its shadowed woods and isolated stretches of road could feel vast and unsettling. On a crisp evening in 1970, the air carrying the first hints of autumn's chill, a call came in through the dispatch office, a request for a ride. John accepted, his routine dictating his response, unaware that this fare would be his last. He drove to the pickup location, a secluded spot on a winding country lane, and stepped away from his life. The details of this final fare remain shrouded in the mists of time, a phantom passenger who slipped into the darkness and left behind only questions. The following morning, the silence of the early hours was shattered by the grim discovery. A concerned resident, perhaps noticing the taxi parked in an unusual spot, or perhaps simply going about their morning chores, found John Leonard slumped behind the wheel of his taxi. The scene was stark, the cold reality of murder starkly painted against the backdrop of a quiet Pennsylvania morning. A single bullet had ended his life, striking him in the back of the head, a silent testament to a sudden, brutal act. The news rippled through the small town, a shockwave that rippled out from the grim scene, leaving a trail of fear and disbelief. Who would do this to John, a man known for his quiet service? The questions began to surface, each one a small stone dropped into the still waters of their community, creating ripples that spread far and wide. Then, in 1973, tragedy struck again, a chilling echo of the violence that had claimed John. Madeleine, grappling with the unresolved grief and the gnawing uncertainty surrounding her husband's death, was actively pursuing a potential lead. She was a woman driven by a fierce determination, a refusal to let her husband's memory fade into the unsolved annals of crime. On a seemingly ordinary day, while en route to follow up on this crucial piece of information, Madeleine was involved in a car accident. The scene of the crash, according to the investigating detective, was deeply unsettling. The official report indicated that her car appeared to have been forced off the road, a jarring detail that hinted at more than just a simple misadventure. It was a chilling suggestion, a hint of malice in the twisted metal and shattered glass that lay strewn across the asphalt. The detective's words, relayed with a somber tone. It looked like she'd been run off the road, hung in the air, pregnant with implication. Madeleine was dead, and the shadow of suspicion fell over the mystery of John Leonard's death once more. Was this just a tragic accident, a cruel twist of fate, or a deliberate act to silence her fervent search for the truth, to bury the secrets she was so close to uncovering? The years blurred into decades, carrying the case of John Leonard, and now that of Madeleine, stood as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the persistent darkness that could reside in the human heart. The victims' families and friends were forced to grapple with a sense of profound loss and the agonizing knowledge that justice had not been served. Their lives were irrevocably altered by the violence that had stolen their loved ones, the fear and pain that had taken root in the wake of their absence. The Poconos, a region usually associated with natural beauty and tranquil retreats, now held a darker undertone, a whispered reminder of the violence that had fractured its peaceful facade. The case faded from the headlines, a common fate for many unsolved mysteries, but it remained etched in the memories of those who knew John and Madeleine. The unsolved nature of the crimes cast a long shadow over the community, a chilling reminder that some mysteries refused to yield their secrets. It was a constant reminder of the injustice that often defines such crimes, the lingering question marks that plagued the lives of those left behind. The woods seemed a little deeper, the nights a little darker, and the silences a little more profound, all charged with the unspoken fear that the perpetrator was still out there, hidden amongst them. Adding a fresh wave of grief to the community's history, the details of Donna Ruth Dobbs' murder, which occurred in 1981, remained unsolved, leaving a sense of bewilderment and sadness in the hearts of those who remembered her. A beloved elementary school teacher, her violent death in her Chesterfield home on Old Gun Road was a brutal blow to a community that had already endured its share of sorrow. Her passing highlighted the fact that her murder shared a common thread with John Leonard's and Madeleine's deaths, the chilling absence of justice. Was there a common link between these seemingly disparate tragedies? Was this the act of a single, deeply disturbed individual, or a more convoluted conspiracy that stretched its tendrils through the seemingly peaceful landscape of the Poconos? The lack of resolution in all three cases fueled speculation and a pervasive sense of unease. The impact of these cases extended far beyond the immediate circle of victims and their families. It affected the very fabric of the community, leaving behind a residue of fear, suspicion, and a sense of vulnerability. The knowledge that a killer may have gone unpunished cast a dark shadow over the lives of residents, eroding their sense of security and trust. Every unexplained noise, every unfamiliar car, could spark a flicker of fear. The crime became a part of the history of the region, a grim chapter in the annals of its past, forever etched into the collective memory, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. The beautiful, rugged landscape of the Poconos, once a symbol of escape and tranquility, now held an undercurrent of menace for some, a place where shadows could conceal unspeakable acts. The cases of John Leonard, Madeleine, and Donna Ruth Dobbs stand as a poignant testament to the enduring human cost of unsolved crimes. They are a stark reminder that the pursuit of justice is never truly over, and that the search for truth must continue, even when the shadows of doubt and mystery seem insurmountable. The victims and their loved ones deserve nothing less than the closure that only the truth can bring. The search for answers must continue, for the truth to eventually come to light, to finally bring peace to the souls of John Leonard, Madeleine, and Donna Ruth Dobbs, and to the communities they once called home. Their stories, though marked by tragedy, serve as a powerful call for persistence, for vigilance, and for the unwavering belief that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, the light of truth can and must eventually prevail.